Tonight on Truth Duty Valour.
This exercise is both mentally and physically demanding.
2 weeks in Canada's rugged backcountry. 24 of the military's finest give everything they've got.
We're trying to get rid of the people with bad backs, bad knees, bad attitudes.
Half of those will not get what they came for.
If they don't bring out their personal best, they won't be selected here.
They compete for a very dangerous job.
If you stop, that means to me you want to quit.
They compete for a chance to save your lives. The annual Search and Rescue Technician pre-selection phase. This is no ordinary job interview.
Did everyone get a good sleep last night?
Yeah.
Good, because that's probably the last one you're going to get for a while.
These 24 SAR Tech hopefuls from all walks of military life are at the beginning of a very strenuous mental and physical challenge to finish in the top half of this elite class. If successful, the reward is an invitation to attend the prestigious Canadian Forces School of Search and Rescue, where world-class SAR Techs are trained. The course is an adventurer's dream.
The course will consist of about 11 months. In which time they'll do paramedic training, they'll do ground operations, parachuting, they'll complete their operational dive training, and then they will do mountaineering and a final ops evaluation phase, which will bring them to graduation in June of 2006.
Those who graduate from the SAR Tech course emerge as fully qualified paramedics and survival and rescue experts.
Those who are selected will be able to live out all of their adventures. Everything from parachuting to diving, and the list goes on. But the most important factor of this entire thing is to save a life.
It's nothing but a good future for those guys when they become SAR Techs and wear the coveted SAR Tech wings on their chest.
To get to this stage of the competition, each candidate must have a good career record and score high on tests that measure IQ and potential. These tests make up 50% of their final mark. The other half of their grade is determined by their performance over the next 2 weeks. The competition is friendly, but fierce.
Out of the cream of the crop, we're selecting the 12 of the best out of the cream of the crop.
The most important factor of this selection is to ensure that the Canadian Forces Search and Rescue Trade gets the top quality people that they deserve.
Every move will be watched and will either help make or break their chances of becoming a SAR Tech.
4. Let's just move. 5.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
After 3 days of prep work in Edmonton, the students head west and find themselves at a remote training camp in the foothills of the Rockies. The camp on Jarvis Lake is a detachment of the Canadian Forces School of Search and Rescue, or SAR, and is run by operational SAR Techs.
All of the staff that are running this selection course come from the Canadian Forces School of Search and Rescue in Comox, BC. The Canadian Forces School of Search and Rescue is responsible for all SAR Tech training in Canada and sea survival training for the entire Air Force.
Each year, a new group of candidates arrive, keen to show off their mental and physical strengths in hopes of being chosen for the search and rescue trade.
While we're in Jarvis Lake, all of the students run, they don't walk.
During the first week at Jarvis Lake, the students spend their days in classes learning about basic survival. Everything from flares to snares. And of course, there are occasional reminders that being a SAR tech is a highly physical job.
14, 15, 16.
Nights are a different story.
We're gonna get them out of their little beds where they're nice and comfy and warm, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight.
Get out of bed! Wake up!
2 minutes to report outside your prayer cabin. Single file facing in front of me.
Let's go! 2 minutes! 2 minutes! Get out! Get out! Get out here! Get out here!
1 minute 50 seconds.
Get out of bed! Hurry up! Line up over here! Come on, line up over here! Right here! Cabin number 1! 10 seconds, let's go, come on! Cabin door here! Here!
9, 8.
The students have no clue how long and agonizing this night is going to be. Truth, Duty, Valor continues after this. Go.
The exercise tonight it's an opportunity for the SAR tech instructors to assess the students operating in adverse conditions, i.e. with lack of sleep, ability to react under pressure and decision making.
The students have spent the last 4 hours running around completing various tasks, like random pop quizzes in the bush, lighting fires, and a scavenger hunt for memory. These students are beat. In case anybody has energy left, a 5 a.m. tug-of-war should take care of it.
2, 3, go! Push it! Push it! Push it!
These students are driven by sheer determination. Each of them is used to ranking at the top and give 110%, making it tough for the competition.
We test them to their highest possible standard that they can bring out. We motivate them to do as much as they can possibly do.
From this point on, we're also going to put them through a period of about 36 hours where they're going to get very little rest, and then they're going to be subjected to another motivational exercise in the same period, which really becomes quite a morale breaker and really puts them to the test of the limits of their endurance.
3, pull! 1, 2, 3, pull!
And we work in pairs of 2, so I have to rely on my partner to look after me. So we back each other up, and it's nice to have a partner that can react under any conditions.
The winning team is this team over here. For your award, I'm going to be nice to you guys for the next 5 minutes. That is your award. Rescue! Rescue! Go! Everybody over to your rucksack.
Calculate the distance between these 2 points using the path of least resistance. When you are sure of your answer, raise your hand. Go!
Earlier that day, some of the candidates revealed what drives them.
So one of the tougher ones you're ever going to do, and so far they haven't disappointed me. It's been really tough. But you know, again, just go to your good place when you're in pain, and you're usually fine.
Challenge, I think, is a big thing too. I always try to stay fit, and SAR tech is, I think, the best trade in the military. Like, firefighters pretty damn good, but I want to be a SAR tech. I look at them as the greatest.
It's really testing yourself, bringing a lot of people together. It's nice being with a bunch of elite people like this.
I was trying not to expect too much. Well, not to expect, I mean, not to have my own opinion, because they're always gonna change stuff on us, right? And I'd rather work with not knowing what's coming and just figure it out when it comes.
12.81. Yep.
These next couple of days will certainly be a good test of whether they have the ability to carry on and be a good candidate for the SARTEC course.
Okay, listen up. On the word of command, go. I'll give you 3 minutes to fill your water bottles, adjust your rucksacks. Go!
Pre-selection isn't easy, but people this hardcore know that nothing worth doing is going to come easy.
A lot of them are so motivated it isn't funny. I mean, they're probably outstanding soldiers or airmen or seamen, wherever they come from. These guys or girls are motivated, and basically they want to be SARTECs really bad.
When Truth Duty Valour returns, the fun continues.
Get your butt up. Get your butt up. Get your butt up.
After this point, we're going to turn the pressure on and start putting a lot more stress on the students and seeing what they really have.
You kind of feed off everybody, I think, to keep going, especially when you're really tired and really hurting.
When you're suffering and everyone else is suffering, it just makes you feel better when you have someone to suffer with.
All in a day's work. We volunteered for this. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know, I fell down a hill and into a creek. It's my second set of clothes today already. I'm blowing straps here too. Oh, a mess. Everything hurts, but it's good.
After an all-nighter and an 8-hour trek through deep snow with their 100-pound packs, the students are starting to feel it, and the course isn't even near the halfway mark. Up to this point, 4 people have dropped out because of personal or medical reasons.
We're trying to get rid of the people with bad backs, bad knees, bad attitudes. That's basically what pre-selection is.
It's a dog-eat-dog world sometimes, and each individual know that if they don't bring out their personal best, they won't be selected.
Physically, it's been really demanding. Not a lot of sleep and whatever. We're learning a lot, though. There's a lot of points you pick up.
Take one day at a time, one activity at a time. That's the only way you can do it. You dread, something that's coming up 4 days from now that you're not going to concentrate what's happening right now.
I never thought there'd be this many people making it this long here. I was wondering, when are these guys going to drop so I can move ahead? I've never been in a group or a course with so many elite athletes in my life. It's really good to see.
It's crucial that the course be tough in order to test each candidate's ability to handle the stress of a demanding and dangerous job.
In the dead of night, you can be parachuting into the trees. You can be 300 miles out to sea, hoisting down to a ship, a rolling ship in extreme seas, to get an injured sailor that you've never met before. We're asking people to deal with extreme mental and physical challenges, to put their lives literally on the line for someone they've never met before.
Canadians love the outdoors, but some outings leave people in distress. Last year, SARTECs across the nation responded to over 7,000 emergencies. With 65 pairs of SARTECs available to respond to calls, it's a demanding career. For anyone to put themselves through a selection phase like this, they have to really want the job.
I just try to think about down the road, being a SARTEC, how great life will be. And I just keep going and just try to give it as much as I can.
Throughout the week, the students continue to spend long days in classes. Everything they learn this week will be crucial next week when they hike into the wilderness and put their survival skills to the test. The candidates are unaware that another long night lies ahead.
This is a race. This is to show the staff here of your individual ability to get to a rescue scene and to effect that rescue in both a physical and a mental tasks. Your first station will be out on the lake. When I say go, you will give it all you got until I say stop.
Go! They run across the lake where more mystery awaits. The element of surprise keeps them on their toes and ensures the course is stressful and unpredictable, just like a real rescue mission.
In front of you is a written math test. You have 3 minutes to complete it. Begin. We've had a number of comments, even from the hardcore Army guys, that this, because of the surprises we throw at them, is one of the most challenging they've been done.
The reason that we want to see this inserted into selection process is because on SAR missions, very often you're at work for a day and you could be called out that very night and spend the next night and maybe the next couple of days on the aircraft or on the ground getting casualties out. So it's very important to be able to operate when you're tired and stressed out and still be able to clearly think.
This type of endurance, this type of physical stamina, memory, mental recall, happens on a regular basis. Typical missions last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, but many last from 24 up into a week.
Stop! Stand up! Nothing on the floor!
The students run back to the camp for their next test. They have to run back and forth 16 times before they can catch some sleep and start all over again tomorrow. They keep the pace strong throughout the night as they struggle to consistently rank in the top half of the class.
Go look this way. You will pick up the box in front of you with your hands on the sides. Your fingers cannot go underneath the box. And you will hold it out at 90 degrees for as long as you physically can do it. Once the box drops below 90, you will then report to Master Warrant Officer Deniger just over there.
Rescue zone!
Do you understand?
Yes, Sergeant!
Go! Straight out in front of you, straight out, 90 degrees. Get it up, get it up. Get your fingers on the side. Fingers on the side. This is gut check time again. Let's see what you have.
Okay, where you go?
Right here.
Show it. Show it. Okay, where you go?
Helping that Stokes up those ladders in that ship. You got to get that person up. It needs strength.
The students right now are really checking themselves in terms of their own ability to get through this. Do they have the physical and the mental ability to complete these? They're fairly simple tasks, but we need to know that they do have the ability to complete some simple tasks when they're under duress, when they're under stress, when they're cold, when they're hungry, and that's what happens on missions.
All right, only a couple hours left. We're not supposed waiting for you. Go! Now it's gut check time. Do I have the stamina to complete the task? If you cannot, remove yourself. Get your feet in. Get your feet in, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Get your feet in. Get your feet in, 90 degrees. Get your feet in that way. Down. Get your butt down.
The instructors are only marking the students on a portion of the activities, but the students don't know where and when they're being graded. They have to give it their all of the time to be on the safe side.
Get over there. Get going. Get going.
These particular candidates are looking like they want to be here. They want to achieve the goal of getting on the SARTEC course.
Rescue! Rescue zone! Rescue! Rescue zone!
Next on Truth Duty Valour, the candidates hit the halfway mark and the name of the game is now survival.
It's like putting you on top of your back. Okay, on glute. 1, 2, 3.
With the first week behind them, the students begin the trek phase. In order for the instructors to evaluate the students on their newfound survival skills, they're sent out to live in the wilderness.
We don't resupply them. They have to boil their own water, eat what they carry, and build their shelters for each night.
Take care there.
See you there.
Hey, give her, girl.
See you guys.
One, two, three.
Divided into 4 teams, the students embark on a trek over the rugged terrain of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. They use global positioning devices or GPSs to navigate their way. This will be no leisurely stroll. They're timed and will be met by the instructors at the end of their hike.
This is the fun one for them, if you can call this fun. They don't have us instructors over their shoulders all the time now.
Exhausted from a long day's trek, the students must create warmth and shelter before dark.
Basically, we're on the trek phase right now, and our students, they come in, they have to go through their survival pattern. Tonight, they're being tested on fire, so we won't leave until we know that they have a good fire going. And then they have to basically suffer from the 7 enemies of survival, which are pain, fear, boredom, loneliness, hunger, thirst, and cold.
You have a pattern. It's first aid, make sure you're good to go. Then you get a fire going, your shelter, and then signal, like some sort of like a smoke tree like you saw yesterday there. And then after that, then you food and water. And they haven't really passed down any projects they want us to do for tonight. Right now it's just build our 2-man lean-to. Actually, it's not too bad right now. My feet are pretty wet, but I popped a bunch of Motrin, so yeah. I'm pretty healthy for the most part, so I don't have any aches or pains really right now, but I'll feel them when I wake up tomorrow morning.
You're gonna have to hold it in the middle.
Yeah, long day.
It was a hard battle today. Oh God. I thought you could scale cliffs with a 100-pound rucksack. Just when you thought you had a breaking point.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So you went right past it.
Just wave goodbye.
The trek, long, very tiring. Probably the toughest trek that I've done in. We were climbing. How big do you think those cliffs were? 100 feet?
100 feet, yeah.
We're climbing 100-foot cliffs with probably 120 pounds on our back, like this. It was fun. Lots of fun.
We're more than halfway done.
The competitors spend 3 long days trekking and building homes in various locations in the wilderness. On the morning of the 4th day, things change.
You guys. Oh, you all can take your start position right now. This is an individual exercise. No talking or providing assistance to other candidates is allowed. Any questions? All right.
From this moment on, the students lose the company of their peers. They have one solo trek before heading deeper into the backcountry to survive on their own. This is the final leg of the course and their last chance to prove they are SAR-Tech worthy.
Up until this point, they've been traveling in groups, and today is their final navigation check, so they're off on their single-man phase.
Excited to get our last leg on and get to our point, maybe get into our final phase here of survival. So get a nice fire going once we get there. And so, yeah, and I think the end is near.
What? Lock my feet there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice and light.
It's actually kind of fun to have such high caliber people here and to work with them and not have to, watch out for anyone or have anyone under you. Everyone's kind of equal line, and everyone that's left now is definitely, they're really high caliber and it's going to be good competition.
I think they see the end coming, so maybe that gives them hope. But, you know, they're mentally and physically very tired, they're drained, and it's very easy at this point to make a mistake, and that's one of the things that we're evaluating.
Well, the multi-man phase, they have the opportunity to travel in groups and basically have company. So if there is a mistake or you don't understand something, you can ask a course mate, am I setting up the shelter right? Am I on bearing? How many paces? You have some feedback from your candidates. The problem with that is you can have somebody that hides in the background and just is a follower. When we move them into the single-man phase, there's nobody to talk to. It's either they make or break the skills that they've been taught here, and we check them off and see if they've got what it takes.
At the end of the solo trek, the instructors record timings for the last time. The candidates must now prepare to survive on their own.
Negative, we're waiting for 2 more.
And what were their numbers, please?
Preparation for isolation means giving up every morsel of food.
Okay, pack it up. This is the single-man survival phase that they're going into, so ground rule is that there is no food. We've instructed them that anything that they have, certainly eat it now, because we're going through their kit to ensure that we don't find anything. If we don't do it to everybody, then it certainly wouldn't be fair if someone accidentally finds a chocolate bar on the single-man phase.
Oh, this is still warm.
Yeah.
Nothing in there because they're frozen.
Yeah.
Usually on this course, the pre-selection course, the students are honest because they know what they have at stake if they get caught smuggling an item in, but you never know. Can you just empty out your pockets? Like just your inside pockets, just pull them out. No.
Can you eat lip balm?
Yeah, you probably can.
Well, what we're bringing on our single-man phase, as you can see, this is the kit we've been carrying around our backs all week. You have a ground sheet, you can make a tent out of that, but basically we're using the parachute here as our shelter. Some pairs of socks, underwear. No one's actually changed their underwear and socks all week. We've been too busy.
After all their food is confiscated, the candidates are given an equal amount of candies. Each will attempt to trap a rabbit for extra food, and if things get really desperate, they can always eat their survival candle.
Okay, so this is the jelly candies. It's good for 2 days. It's 1,000 calories. And this is it right here.
So
this is 1 day's worth. This is the second day's worth. 500 calories, 500 calories. That's all they get for the whole time out there. So they're supposed to eat these sparingly because they don't really know how long they're going to be out here for. When I did my survival phase, I rationed myself pretty good, but then one day I just ate all the rest of them because I was really hungry, and then I didn't have any.
1, 2, 3, go. Bye, man. Have a good one.
May never see him again.
The students leave for an unknown number of days alone. They've been given all of the knowledge they need to survive. Their success or failure relies solely on mental strength. Still to come on Truth Duty Valor, we check in on the candidates after days of isolation. During the isolation phase, talking to other candidates is strictly forbidden. Truth Duty Valor is granted a rare opportunity to visit the potential SAR techs after many days of loneliness.
The isolation phase is really a period of time when one guy is against the environment all by himself. He's given a limited amount of equipment and is told that he's got to survive in a very harsh climate.
It allows you to do some soul searching. It allows you to practice boredom and loneliness on a great scale. And it's mentally very difficult to keep yourself busy and keep yourself occupied for that particular time without ever talking to anybody.
We're the first people they've spoken to for days.
Actually, myself, I don't mind it too much. On my own time, like civilian side, I do a lot of hunting and camping and stuff, where I go by myself and do the same thing anyway. It's just usually I have food, that's the only difference. That's the killer out here. For me, I love this. Yeah. No place like home.
Trying to make some feather sticks here. The wood that I have cut up for doing it seems a little bit dry. It just keeps flaking off. So I was gonna chop a new piece off there. It's just a bunch of little sticks that we cut up off the end of the logs. They burn good though. They're nice and dry like that. But it's hard to get them to peel nice. It's actually lots to do, but relaxing at the same time. You don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get ready for a big ruck march or anything. So right now it's kind of relaxing. Not as much food as I'd like, but I look forward to the little jellies and the little jelly beans. Yep.
I dream for a big steak and potatoes with a beer.
Double teen burger. I've been smelling it for the last 2 days, tasting it even. But yeah, that's first on my agenda. And then a Timmy's double-double. And yeah, then I'm back to normal. Then I'm good.
This phase of the evaluation is critical and very practical. The job they fight for is a high-risk one.
Winter bush survival is a critical skill for SAR-Tech because there's very many times in an operational SAR-Tech's career where he will find himself in the wilderness, parachuting in with no support. And the ability to look after himself is considered critical for a SAR-Tech. We have had even SAR-Techs left for up to 7 days in the Arctic, fending for themselves and for the survivors that they parachuted in with. So survival training is considered a critical part of our SAR-Tech course.
The SAR-Tech motto is that others may live. A life dedicated to adventure and rescue is something these candidates are passionate about. The competition is very close.
I think it's probably the only trade in the military that offers you the chance to actually make a difference in day-to-day work, as opposed to, I think every trade you can make a difference, or you are, but you don't see the fruits of your labor, I guess. Whereas this one here, you see firsthand what you're doing for people. And yeah, I think that's pretty satisfying. So that's what I'm looking for.
So this is my 4th prelim, and up till this year, this is the first time that we've had this number of students going into the field phase. So it's been very, very competitive.
It seems to be very tight. There's probably maybe 5 that really stand out, but the rest, it could go anyway.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I've put all my effort into everything we've done. A couple of us guys talked there the other night, though. It's pretty good competition out there, so it's really hard to say. Everybody's giving it 110%, and then there's also the other 50% of the score we don't know that's sitting in Ottawa. So it's really hard to judge, but I feel good on how I've been putting myself across.
When I first got here, I'll admit I kind of thought I had an edge. I'm a country boy, grew up in the woods and stuff. I thought I had a fairly decent edge, but everybody, the 19 people that are left here are extremely strong. I didn't think we'd end up with 19 strong people like this. I don't know how the staff find it, but peer-wise looking at it, I think everybody's pretty much on the same playing field.
Consciously, I sit here and I feel fine, but as soon as I start exerting myself, I feel lightheaded and stuff. So, and just poking at myself this morning in my chest and everything, I'm like, oh boy, yeah, you're losing some weight there, pal. I'm down pretty much the last day of actual work. They're going to come and grade our camps and all our little projects that we've been doing the last few days. So kind of plan how you're going to do things, so you're doing the least energy taxing things on the last day, kind of thing. So yeah, it's getting down to the wire now.
When Truth Duty Valour returns, the instructors and days of isolation. The instructors break up into 2 teams and visit each person's camp. It's not a matter of if they survive, but how well.
I need you to pull out your tools for inspection, your first aid kit, pull out your map, and show us your snowshoes.
As soon as we come into camp, we check out the living conditions to see, how the guy's looking, right? He could be really dehydrated or whatever. We check his overall general appearance. Then we look at his camp, we make sure he's got a fire going. Make sure he's got lots of firewood, which this guy does. He's got a good shelter. He's got water on the boil. He has enough water, keeping hydrated. Making sure he's got a nice bed to lay on. Basically make sure his shelter's constructed properly. Covered our tea in the can. See that?
Yeah. Do you have your snares done?
Has a couple little projects he has to make. He has to make a set of snowshoes, and he has to make a fish net, which is that little thing right there. And we're also looking for a signal fire. He has to build a signal fire, and a ground-to-air signal, like built in the snow. And also he has some snares that he has to set up. We'll see how they work. They look pretty good.
While checking the tools, I'm looking for basic care equipment, whether they keep it sharp, any rust on it, if they've damaged it, if they have damaged it, whether they've tried to repair it. With the knives, we're just looking again for the basic care. They haven't used it as a wedge and bent it. They've kept it sharp.
And he looks like he's surviving, no problem at all.
First aid, fire, shelter, signals, food and water.
Have you constructed a latrine?
I have an area marked off. It wasn't what I expected. I had it in my mind in the infantry, and I had it in my mind that it was going to be staff yelling and just, general, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but cock, just for the sake of cock. But I found when I got here, the staff were probably the most professional staff I've ever met before.
Are you willing to stay here one more night?
Or
how much food have you got?
Food, I've caught nothing yet.
Okay, flip them over. Have you had to use your first aid kit at all?
No, I haven't. I'm just looking forward to the pizza and beer when I get out of here, that's all.
Yeah, go home, have pizza and beer, shower, and a Tim Horton. I just don't know which hoarder is going to happen yet.
Last but not least, the candidates must demonstrate what they would do if they heard an aircraft approaching.
A good fire, we want that smoke to reach treetop level. We want it ignited as fast as possible, so it has to be done with very dry tinder. As well, we want a nice reserve of green boughs to the side that they can continue to throw on and continue the smoke before it burns out like it has here. This is outstanding, one of the best ones I've seen yet.
I'm looking forward to see the guys, see how they did, and talk about it.
When Truth Duty Valour returns, the final stretch and who makes the cut.
The competition is very, very tight, and in my opinion, you know, any one of these candidates would make a good sergeant.
Now we've had individuals who've spent the last 3 days out in the woods. They've been overtasked, they're starving, they haven't eaten in all that time. They have a 3.5 kilometer hike back into camp, and upon arrival, before anything else, they're handed their final written exam. It encapsulates everything that they learned here on pre-selection, and at their mental state, it's going to be quite challenging, and that exam, along with the others, holds a lot of weight into their eventual success or failure.
A little bit of morning fitness. Yeah. Hopefully a healthy breakfast.
Yeah, I ate my candle. I got a quarter of that candle left. It said you could eat it.
On the last kilometer of the hike back, the students put their homemade snowshoes to the test. Although they're weak from hunger, the end is finally here, and spirits are flying high.
How you doing?
Hey, peace, my brother.
Joe, I haven't seen you in a long time.
How you doing?
You're much hairier. Audrey.
We've seen a lot of average people, and we've seen a lot of above average people. The people that we want are the above average, and some are even above average, and we definitely want those people.
With their packs on, going through the woods and the bush, and the little bit of food that we give them, and the activities that they have to do out in the bush, they lose an awful lot of weight. People have lost from 10 to 20 pounds, and one person actually lost 32 pounds.
The instructors make sure they're sent home with a full stomach.
There's 2 buns apiece, and it's 1 square each for everybody. You guys are welcome to come up for seconds or thirds. There's milk and juice there. You guys help yourselves and enjoy it.
These guys should come early with being very positive and with a sense of fulfillment that they've accomplished something.
The candidates won't know for weeks who made the cut, but the bonds forged by 2 weeks of hard work will last a lifetime.
I think it's pretty amazing, all the stuff we've done in 2 weeks. I would never have thought that we would have been as busy as we are, but at the same time, it's been pretty exciting. All the training we have done is actually very useful, whether a person makes it or not.
So all of a sudden I was really hungry because I find this course has bonded extremely well, and we get along very well. There's friends here I'm going to visit in BC when I go to BC, so it's a very good course.
Boys and girls, I have a toast. Somebody asked me how I possibly could train for this. My answer was, how can you train for a kick in the nuts?
Truth Duty Valour has been informed that 11 candidates have received initial offers to begin SAR Tech training this summer. Someday, one of these people might save your life. Audrey, Morgan, Eric, Bryce, Francis, Bruno, Joel, George, Damien, Scott, and Martin. Congratulations to all who made it to the end of one of the military's toughest courses. Join us next week for more adventure on Truth Duty Valour.
If anybody's on watching TV and you're ever lost in the woods, you can make tea out of that. That has some vitamin C and some nutrition and beats boiled water.